Hi, YouTube. If you guys can tell, we have the amazing Brady here on the other side. Brady, you want to say something about yourself?
Uh, I'm really excited. We're finally watching Steins Gate. We've been talking about it for a while. It hasn't come up on the wheel. Fate has not given us Steins Gate, so we're just grabbing it ourselves.
I think we already kind of discussed it a little bit. We have very little, of course, because it's such a popular show. We understand sort of like it's about time travel, redheads. My brother was a big fan of it. We've seen one or two episodes of it a long, long time ago. I think
Yeah.
maybe three for me with my brother. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But from there on, it was pretty much a phase, especially for me in high school. If you guys know who Rosie Chen is and all those kids, they'll be here. I was like, have you guys watched this show? The majority of the time, you have to be like, yeah, no, I've seen that show 100%. You haven't fucking seen jack shit, dude.
Oh, and for the folks who are just joining the Psychulturists family on YouTube, who may not know what what we're even going to do here with Steins Gate, what are we going to be doing here, Edgar?
So let's start off by saying, first off, we're watching the anime by the anime medium only. If there's a novel, if there's a manga, if there's something else out there, we are not critiquing, analyzing that aspect of the world. We're quite literally analyzing the characters, bringing up psychological elements and interventions from the here and now into what is being presented. I hope that
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
I'm a narrative psychologist, existential psychologist who uses narrative practice in therapy. Edgar himself is an attachment specialist. We have different perspectives, different points of view, but we share a portion of our education, so
Yeah.
we do often land on a lot of the same points.
And I guess one thing to add into that is I also tend to have a little bit more because Brady knows this. One of my big pushes was like one day going for my PsyD or my PhD in psychology specific to artificial intelligence in future tense. So we have a little bit more research area into that. We also have our whole life thing. Brady is an author. He's hopefully soon Amazon best-selling author here with multiple awards and everything. And he's also extremely creative. He's had a lot of passions and music and a lot of other creative outlets. And yeah,
Yeah. I don't have any books up on Amazon right now, but I do publish other pieces of fiction, short fiction on my website. Author stuff is incoming, but perhaps we'll have to time travel for that.
and I guess I'll just say that like for me, done theater. I've done a lot of acting for film. There's actually a lot of my own personal shit out there on YouTube. Um, if you got congratulations if you're in the chat and you guys didn't know about that. Yes, I did used to do a lot of acting for film, theater, voice acting, all of that shit. If you guys find it, you guys find it. I'm not gonna fucking tell you guys where to search, but it's out there. And I've done a lot of directing. Brady actually used to be an actor of mine, actor friend of mine, still is an actor friend of mine. So we've done a lot of random, beautiful shit together. So we'll build like bridging both of our beautiful worlds. But that being
Well,
said,
you must also say I was your um, part of your casting coordination and was promoted to actor.
yeah, I mean, you could fill in a role where other people could not fill.
Sort of, sort of.
All right, brother, you ready to start? Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
make sure that you can see this first off. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it to your screen so there's no lag. Uh, here you go. Because I would prefer that for you. All right, let me go ahead and focus in. Let me get rid of my own little participant here.
This is
All
gonna be
right.
great. I'm really excited to watch Steins Gate.
No, it's been a while, brother. It's been a while. Trying to make sure that you could see it. Let me know before I take off my OBS screen. All right,
Yep.
perfect. All right, chat. From here on out, I won't be able to see you guys. Brady's gonna be my eyes and ears for the chat.
Yep, I got you.
Anytime you want me to stop, Brady, just say stop and we'll discuss. Perfect. All right, let me back it up.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Here we go.
宇宙には始まりはあるが終わりはない。無限。星にもまた始まりがあるが 自らの力を持って滅びゆく。有限。英知を持つ者こそ最も愚かであることは歴史からも読み取れる。これは抗える者たちに対する神からの最後通告と言えよう。
Who was he just talking to? And then just hangs up.
Let me pause. Yeah, I was about to be like, bro, he just hung up without saying bye. What the fuck?
Yeah, like who is he talking to? Is he talking to like his future self or something? Like when there's time travel involved, I'm gonna be throwing out theories left and right. You're like,
Right, you kind of fucking have to in this scenario. But no, what I was gonna say is like it's also interesting that like he's gotten to this point where he had like he's narrating, like say that no one's on the other line. He's narrating to himself like these epilogue little monologue shit, dude. Like that just doesn't happen overnight. That's not what a like normal person does, you know?
what? Do voice recording? Hey, I do that every single day.
No. There's a difference between doing a voice recording and knowing that it's a voice recording, and another thing like picking up a phone and pretending like it's a fucking phone call and showing it that way.
Okay, yeah, that's true. When I do my voice recordings, I don't have my phone like this, and I'm not like waxing philosophical to myself. It's more like journaling. So yeah, it could have been a voice recording he was doing and just holding the phone like that, I guess.
Hi, let's see, bro.
行くぞ。
Oh,
Don't
your
look
favorite,
at the
Brady.
sun. Don't look at the sun.
Isn't that your favorite though? Like someone looking at their hands? Symptoms for change that they want or that they need, bro? Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
I was pointing that out. I was pointing that out in the ReZero stuff.
Let's go.
When people, especially when we feel like we've done something terrible, we look at our hands, like the instruments of change. You know, there's been a lot of studies done on like why we look at our hands when we feel guilty about something or when we're contemplating doing something. Often
Right.
you'll see people look at their hands.
Well, I mean, because realistically, like aside from our feet, these are the only things that like tools that we can ground ourselves with, right? Like immediately change our environment with, you know? So
Yep.
they're the most powerful, they're the immediate, and if no one's there, it's not like you can use your tongue and stab someone with it. So
Well, there's also more like personal identification with your hand, right?
Right.
Like you know, you don't look at your kneecap and think that's me. You know,
That's
like, but
me,
you
bro.
can look at your hand and be like, that's my hand, that's me. I'm not looking at my face, but I see myself in my hand, like in a way.
Right.
We have a certain personal identification from it. Vatosh, don't miss the Brady ReZero streams too much. They're coming back.
But there's a lot.
Just been taking a little break.
See, what kind of scares me about this in particular, though, is the fact that she's sort of the only one that's like looking up towards the sun with that. So I wonder. This is my whole little like personal thing. Like, let's say family dynamics wise, let's say even attachment wise, right? Someone comes in and say that one of them's like automatically, I don't know, talking to himself, has this whole fucking voice notes, it's too invested in his own self, and the other individual's actually searching for change, you know, whether it's looking at your hands or you start noticing all of these things.
What you're talking about here is like a character contrast, like paralleling, like they're foils for each other.
Yeah. You see, Brady, that's exactly it. You read my shit before I even get there. That's the beauty of it. Like,
she wasn't really looking at her hand. She's kind of grabbing,
reaching, yeah.
grabbing.
But that's what I'm wondering, if this is going to put the centerfold for her to sort of be like, I don't know how to put it, like the motivation for change for other people around her. So the call to action per se. So we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, let's go. Oh, he's a Psy?
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's a part of the Psy family, bro.
Bruh.
Bruh, El Psy Congro. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
人数が少ないな。 やはり期間の妨害が入っているか。
何が始まるの？
お前はそれも知らずにここに来たというのか。
タイムマシーン、すごいね。
Oh no.
中鉢博士は我々研究者の抜け駆けをし、この世紀の発明の発表会へとこぎつけた。たっぷりとその考えを聞かせてもらうつもりだ。地震か？いや、上か。
I'm already sus about everything here, dude.
Yeah. I mean, anytime I see time travel, I'm like, okay, where are we in the timeline? Is this actually the beginning of the story, or is it like second loop or something? You know, we never know.
Is it an open or closed time loop?
Yeah, is this like dark time travel?
このシリーズあまり残ってないのに、マユシーは100円玉を切らしちゃっているのです。
What's that? We just jumped. Where are we now?
Apparently downstairs? It's not like I skipped anything in the anime. Just kept going.
I really like the look of this show, though. Sort of like
Right?
high contrast, low saturation. Looks nice.
メタルだよ、メタルウーパー。
レアなのか？
Metal Upa.
Nope.
Did you ever collect any of those little creatures from the quarter machines at the grocery store?
Bro, my grocery store used to have dispense like original Pokemon cards back in the day. Like, but the thing is, like, quickly, how do I put it? Back in the day, people didn't think Pokemon cards were going to be so valuable, so no one really gave a shit. And nowadays, people go scouring like the fucking old abandoned malls for them because they're still in there. That's fair for me to put it.
Did you get the like Pokemon cards from the Pokemon movie?
Yeah, dude, hell yeah! And
A
the
really
Yu-Gi-Oh!
thick Mewtwo card?
Yeah, and the Yu-Gi-Oh movie too. Like all the
Yeah, dude,
Yu-Gi-Oh
this
specials.
is what I mean when I was like, when me and Edgar first met, we just like bring up random, very specific like pop culture or like childhood experiences, and he's like, "Yeah, I had the same thing," and I'm like, "Nice."
Bro, I remember my mom, she was like, why do you want to go see like the Yu-Gi-Oh movie? I'm like, because you're giving out a free fucking card and it's going to be fucking valuable later on in the future. Turns out, yeah, not really. But it's still a fun experience.
Yeah, they also had McDonald's tie-in, you know, cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great hunting for all that shit. But nowadays, you can't even find Pokemon cards at Walmart anymore.
Yeah, dude. And McDonald's has shit toys, dude. I used to get like Dragon Ball figures from Burger King.
Yeah. All right, teach us a little bit about Time Machine.
メタルーパーを落としたみたいなので探してきます。
タイムマシンの基本構造としては。
なんだいきなり。
なんだではない。あなたのタイムマシン理論はなんだ。カーブラックホール、世界線、すべてジョン・タイターのパクリではないか。タイターは自らをタイムトラベラーと名乗り、2000年にはこの理論をネット上で発表しているんだぞ。知らぬとは言わせん。
ブレナ、もちろん知っておる。あんなインチキ理論と一緒にするなと言っているのだ。
だったら。
Okay, let's hold the front door right there, bro. That often happens even nowadays where people try claiming one another's work and then you have to show validity for that work. Even in the psychological field, by the way, there are people who will quite literally try and make the jump and like hear a theory and try and claim work or the assumption of that theory. And then when it comes time to prove it, they can't necessarily prove it if they're a fraud, you know. Luckily we have checks and balances for shit like that because there are a lot of people. There are a lot of
they're saying in the chat that John Titor is a real person.
Is he?
Yes, apparently that's a real theory made in 2000 about this specific kind of time travel.
Oh shit! Well, I didn't know that, dude. I was just talking about general.
Crazy.
I was just talking about just general fucking like publishing work and whatnot, and how fucking horrible it can be.
It's true,
Also, we got to do a dissection of IRL news, brother. We'll do that at the end, because I feel as though we might contradict a very famous psychologist who spoke on the stand a couple days ago, and a lot of their weird fucking takes.
説明してもらおう。あなたとタイターのタイムマシン理論の違いを。
ちょっとあなた。
Oh,
There she is. Redhead.
my heart immediately, dude.
Yeah, apparently John Titor, someone sent me the Wikipedia link.
私のセリフです。
It's a pseudonym. He posted online. He claimed to be an American military time traveler from 2036. He made numerous vague and specific predictions regarding calamitous events in 2004 and beyond, including a nuclear war. Inconsistencies in his explanations, the uniform inaccuracy of his predictions, and a private investigator's findings all led to the general impression that the entire episode was an elaborate hoax. And investigations concluded he was some sort of fictional character created by a lawyer and a computer science. So, probably not a time traveler, but interesting that the guy in the show is referencing. I didn't know that. I thought he was just like a fictional thing.
I thought that was just a fictional thing as well. Also, wasn't there an individual? Because there's a lot of claims for like time travel shit like that. I believe that there was a claim about an individual that got out of or got into Japan or something like that, and his passport was from a country that didn't exist. Someone Google that and then send us the link, please. I'm pretty sure it's out there. I'm not sure if it was Japan. It was one country, but quite literally his passport was from a country that didn't exist. They took him in for questioning, and then boom, he disappeared again. Don't know what the fuck that is. Could be a fucking urban legend.
I think it was Stephen Hawking who had the famous thought experiment where he invited a time traveler from any age to a party, but he did not announce this party until after the party occurred. So he didn't tell anyone about this. He hosted a party for a time traveler, and then several days later announced that he had this party, meaning that if at any point in any future, until the end of time, if there were time travelers, one of them probably would have gone to check that, to show up at that thing. So he sort of kind of theoretically, suggestively proved that you could not travel at least backwards in time, because otherwise someone would have shown up.
What I was about to say, let's ponder this for a second, because this actually goes into discussion that we had, or I had at that convention with all the scientists and doctors and whatnot. Really got into this, and it's specifically when it comes to like self-centeredism in time travel, right? I.e., if I throw a party, if I do this, for example, why would a time traveler go to you in that specific instance? What importance do you play in the future of, say, the world time travel if your time's already up in that regard? And then fast forward, what if you do time travel, but it's not necessarily time traveling, but then jumping into, say, a parallel universe or like multiverses?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be a parallel universe, because like if I had two portals in front of me, one coming back from the future and one going to it, and I decided that in 10 minutes I would jump in the portal and come out 5 minutes before, there should be a me that comes out of the portal before I've jumped in, but that can't happen, so I would have to jump in, and if I came out, well, I did not experience me jumping out, so I would have had to have gone to a different timeline, because I didn't experience that the first time around. Right. So you could probably go back in time, but you're not going to end up in the exact same time that you were just in. Like, you'll be in some sort of parallel
where everything is slightly off. You remember that, Brady? Everything was slightly off. That was fucking wild.
Yeah, well, that was I think that was a time warp as well.
Yeah, that was wild in of itself. But no, okay, like jumping into that, like let's say that you are, because here's the thing, and here's why I will always say count yourself lucky with the people that you surround yourself with. This was sort of an argument that we were having, or that I was having at that convention specifically. the individuals that you actually make genuine connections with, the probability of actually connecting with them at this day and age, this time, your parents actually making you, or being able to create you during that time period, you going to school at the same regard, for example, with Brady, right? All of his experiences, the choices that he made, whatever, they all had to correlate almost specifically with my decisions as well, for us to be able to meet and for us to actually be able to communicate and have all of our interactions and stuff. So that's why I say the friends that you do genuinely make, or friends that you're open to being vulnerable with, be kind to them, be empathetic about it, because the possibilities of everything lining up again, it's very, very small. And that's something that I fear, man. If I were to ever fucking jump into time travel or jump into another universe, what if we never met, dude? What if on every other timeline, Brady doesn't exist? And that would fuck with me forever, man. That ain't good, brother.
Just only in this one.
Just only in this one, yeah. Oof. All right, let's continue,
How
brother.
strange is it to be
what's
anything at all?
Yeah, in that regard. How lucky is it to be something even in this speck of dust?
The chances of literally anything are so infinitely impossible, but somehow they are. I mean,
even before being born, you quite literally, when you're just a fucking sperm, you literally have to come first. And yes, congratulations, guys. You came first at something in your life. You had to beat a million other little peeps to get in there. So just being honest about that, guys. It's so fucking infinitesimal, so small to actually do everything that you did so far.
SK Wukong is saying Brady went from best friend to villain to maiden in distress to not existing. I wear multiple hats, really.
Multiple hats, yeah. Oof. All right, let's go. She's like a dark redhead then, or is it just the lighting?
Just the lighting, I think. I mean, she is a dark redhead, yeah, but they're also in dark lighting.
この前サイエン誌に論文が載った。
よくご存知ですね。どこか大学の研究室の方です。貴様。
まさか機関が送り込んだ。
Of course, he's a scientist. He has a white lab coat.
Make the obvious character choice, yeah?
Yeah. He must be a conspiracy theorist. That must be what it is.
He's fucking Alex Jones of fucking...
He keeps talking about the organization, and I bet she's about to take his phone and be like, "You're not talking to anyone. This is just like a calculator or something."
Well, what if he's right? You just have to understand they're putting shit in the water that turns their frogs gay. Some...
My guess is he's not a scientist. And that's why he's wearing the generic, cliched lab coat. It's it's a costume. Literally the archetypal costume of a scientist. He wouldn't get that, right? A real scientist wouldn't wear a stupid looking white lab coat because it's cliched. So he's putting it on because he's not an actual scientist.
You see, I think otherwise.
He's a mental case.
I think he is a scientist, but it's one of those individuals that has too much to fucking prove. So he's like, I have to wear this at all times. It's sort of like a doctor, wherever they go, those people that have sort of a fucking trip about it. It's like, oh, you have to address me as Dr. this. And it's like, Steven, I've known you since you were born. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not going to call you Dr. Nick or whatever. Yeah, dude. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
It's gonna be like a calculator or something,
or some stupid shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's turned off.
特別に教えてやろう。
I'll tell you a secret.
Yeah, he's a conspiracy person.
It's 5G, man. They'll control you.
He's got the 5G viroid.
さっき私に何を言おうとしたんですか？15分くらい前。何か言おうとしてましたよね。
Oh, 15 minutes ago.
思い詰めたような顔で。
Okay, so we didn't see that. It's like the narrative trying to simulate for us what his experience is like, which is scattered and disconnected.
What if we're already seeing another run, dude? What if we're seeing another run already? Because we've been seeing little gaps and shit happening immediately. We're like, you're like, wait, what the fuck did it skip? So what if we're seeing another run? Quite literally, like,
Yeah, I could imagine like all the little idiosyncrasies that he's noticing and being like, "Oh, you're part of the organization, and this little thing is, out of sync or whatever," is because he's been on different loops
right,
and like he's just totally kind of out of touch.
right.
Could be, could be.
But I mean, okay, here comes another thing. If you time travel, and this is sort of what I'm getting at. If you time travel and say you go into another universe, there are two of you present in one loop. What is the damage if, say, two of you meet?
So I'm going to recommend a film.
Sure,
Some
go
of you
ahead.
may have seen it. It is the greatest like depiction of accurate time travel I've ever seen. It's called Primer, and it discusses that very question that you had, where like the time travel basically involves like they build this time machine in a warehouse, and they have to turn the machine on, and like in 20, and it has to heat up. So 20 hours later, let's say, they get in the thing and they go back to the time, while the time machine was like warming up. And they specifically like while their double is out in the world, they go to a hotel and they turn off all their phones and they completely isolate themselves from any possibility of interacting with anyone, not just their own double. Um, so that they don't have this problem. However, it does become complicated when there are two of you, or perhaps more, out in the world, and something happens to the you later that day that changes your objective or your motivations. And you no longer have the exact motivations as yourself from 20 hours ago, right? Like you've seen something that happened to a loved one and you might change your objective. That's why you have to isolate yourself totally the first time around so that your opinions don't change at all. Because then you'll get out of sync with yourself, and there will be two of you, and one of them is not going to want to get back into the time machine box. It's a great movie, and it discusses that like in a very realistic way.
Yeah, no, no, and that's exactly what I'm thinking, man. Because it's like, what if this isn't necessarily the prime run? Because it feels like this is already like a lot of loops in type of thing. Like, and it would make sense. Especially if say that there's already a fucked up timeline or a fucked up something that had already happened, and someone's trying to do like a perfect fucking speed run. Why the fuck would you not try to go back and like fix shit?
Yeah, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't like. It definitely doesn't look like this is the beginning of the story. Like we're sort of in the middle of things,
Right,
in media res, so to speak. Kind of like Memento. You have a character who is like going backwards through the plot, and the
right,
disorientation of the story is also disorienting for us, so that we feel like the character we're seeing. And that's kind of like this guy. It's like what he talked to her 15 minutes ago, but we just got introduced to her. Like
right.
there was a scene where the little girl gets the metal ball, and then like the next scene it's gone and she's lost it, and it's like we're missing chunks of whatever's happening.
And also, if he is a conspiracy theorist in any regard, right? Let's talk a little bit about confirmation bias. People are coming in and like giving you random sprouts of information like this. Are you more set to believe that what you are thinking is correct based off of that? Which I think it is, because he's more than
Well,
likely going to search for that. Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, I've done therapy with people who are like, going down the conspiracy route, and like it is like psychologically what happens to people who get on that track is that actually any evidence you give them against the conspiracy, like especially if your evidence is really conclusive, to them that is actually conclusive evidence that the conspiracy is even greater, because it's so conspiratorial that the evidence is really convincing, and that's
Right.
that's the evidence, that's proof of the lie, even though it's the opposite. Like, so you can't deal with conspiracy theorists or people who, not even theorists, but like people who just get into like, the rabbit hole of these stupid conspiracies about Pizzagate and that sort of thing. Like, they may not have like bad intentions, but like they get sucked into this stuff, and any evidence you give them will actually just push them further in the direction of the
Right.
bring them out of it by saying, here's how it really is. Here's how it really is. It doesn't work. It has the opposite effect. And I've experienced that firsthand.
Right. And, you know, I was about to say, it's always been a struggle with my clients when it comes to people who are, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be extreme conspiracy theories, but extreme closed-mindedness. We'll go ahead and put that out there, you know, or extreme bias in any direction for confirmation bias or whatever. Because no matter what, like if you try psychoeducational approach, if you try, say, an approach through an emotional lens, humanistic approach, narrative approach, quite literally, and here's where it comes to like therapeutic lens. If a person wants to make a change, it has to come from them. If you force someone to go to therapy,
100%.
yeah, all of a sudden you become part of their conspiracy, you become part of that problem, and they won't want to go ahead and try and make a change. So it has to come from them at all times.
Yeah, like I might have a client who I can very clearly see is in a toxic or abusive relationship. But like me just telling them that and like trying to convince them of that doesn't solidify that. Like the understanding almost has to emerge from themselves for it to actually mean something.
Right.
So you are in a certain sense doing a bit of like inception where you're trying to kind of guide them to the types of behavioral changes or cognitive changes that might inspire that change from inside themselves. Because if you just are sitting there telling them you got to leave this partner, that's not going to work. Their friends could tell them that, you know, like you're not doing what a psychologist would do in that situation.
Damn, brother. Damn. All right, let's continue, Brand. Hopefully by the end of this, we actually predict something cool, right? Because then we can change the like stream title for them to be two psychologists actually hit Steins Gate in the first episode, you know? Like we get it all right, or as parts of it, or some fucking aspect. Anyway.
お見通しなのだ。天才少女よ。次に会うときは敵同士だな。
Maybe the conspiracy stuff is a red herring and there is an actual conspiracy.
Right. Oh, we were right. Oh.
Dark Thug changed the title to two psychologists already read visual novel. Watch, it's going to turn out that the conspiracy is real, and his like over dramatic display of that is to make us think that it's ridiculous.
Right.
Like the phone actually does do exactly what he just said. You know, like it's going to turn out to be that. It's a red herring.
That would be great. Yeah.
And this girl is the leader.
Okay. Here's a question for you, Brady. If say that you F and that's exactly.
F.
Wait, does she pass away? Is this what it's saying? F in the chat. You know, pray.
F, guys. There's a big F on the screen. Why is there a big F on the screen? It's not in the middle of a word. It's not a sentence. It's just an F.
And with the character next to it. That's a big thing, man. And with the character next to it. Guys, play it.
It's a little dark, but it looks like maybe it's a 7
it's
behind
a
it. Like
yeah,
7F, like maybe the room number or something. But I don't take the framing of these things for granted. Like,
no, bro. No, there's nothing is ever. Like, you have to remember, people carefully plotted this shit out on purpose. Like, a director sat down and approved every single fucking shot in here in an animated series. So
this is anime. It's not like, well, that's just the location they shot at. Like, no, someone literally planned this out. You could just have it be a blank wall. Why 7F?
And also, why specifically in the frame being F and then showing this person? You know, like, well,
for future, and this is the 7th loop. 7 futures.
I'm guessing, like, in 7 episodes or so, we'll be pressing F a lot to show respect. I don't know, or like for fallen soldiers or some shit, like, you know, some Metal Gear Solid shit right there. But anyway,
this is the 7th future or something.
資金が完全にそこを突きかけているのだ。
見つけても売らないよ。
1万あれば新たな未来ガジェットの部品を調達できるではないか。
だから売らないって。
That sounds like him.
今の
Yeah, that was
出
weird.
ていろ
We both need tinfoil hats. 8F.
Actually, great idea, Brady. I'll be right back. Brady, entertain. I'm gonna go get a tinfoil hat.
Oh, I got tinfoil as well. Let me go get mine.
Let's go get tinfoil hats, man. We'll be right back.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, chat. Came back. Got to protect ourselves from the radiation of the microwaves and all the other random things out there in the world. We'll wait for Brady to come back, but meanwhile we have our high level thinking caps on. We got to protect ourselves from the 5G, ladies and gentlemen. This is the content we keep coming for. They're coming after us, ladies and gentlemen. We got to protect ourselves, protect our children. The 5G. You guys are fucking killing me. We gotta understand what time travel is. What a way for Brady Coon to come back with his tinfoil hat. Protect ourselves.
See, you've already got a tinfoil hat made.
Brother. Let me bring you back up. There we go. Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta make mine.
Oh, bro, I quickly made mine. I think I'm so used to it because I made one for the ReZero one. We gotta protect
How
our.
the fuck do I do this?
Yeah, just wrap it around your skull, and then like literally, I pinch up for it because you gotta have a little dome to protect yourself from microwave radiation and the radiation of the 5Gs.
Long enough?
A little bit longer, I'd suggest. I am well versed in the way of the tinfoil hat. There you go. Ooh. Strong tinfoil hat moment.
This
Now
has
this
to
is
be like
content.
long enough, right?
Yeah, that looks. Oh. We're protecting
It's
ourselves.
more like a cap.
To all 29 or 30 people that are in here, yes, that's right. You're watching psychologists put on tinfoil hats to protect ourselves from the conspiracy waves that this show may bring. To be able to make 5 head predictions and shit. I hope that the rest of the chatters, you guys are also wearing your update the title. Ask the mods; they can update the title. Do you teach this to all of your clients? It's 3 a.m. I'm looking at guys in tempo. Monsieur Osama, you're protecting yourself from the globalist because the globalist wants you to not wear tempo hats.
Okay.
Oh shit, brother. Oh shit. There we go. Oh, okay. Now we'll make it work somehow. There it is. Now it stays on perfectly because of the headphones. Oh, if I taught this to my clients, oof, can you imagine? Your client walks in and sees you wearing a tinfoil hat as you go in. Oh. All right, Brady is.
If I were more of a tinfoil artist, I would like fashion some cat ears onto it.
Oof.
To do like conspiracy Neko Brady.
There you go. The little wizard hat.
Best I got is like this little Santa thing. That's all you get.
Yeah. Protecting ourselves from the globalist. What are you wearing? We gotta protect ourselves from the radiation, brother. The globalist and all of that.
We have our secret phones that we're talking to each other on.
Can you hear me? The organization's after us. We got to be careful.
Guys, I think Edgar is a part of the organization. I never told him about the organization.
How dare you? You ready, brother? Let's continue.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh. Why the fuck did it... Oh, no, we're good. We're good. I thought it just completely vanished.
The lighting in this school, or wherever they are, is...
fucking ominous
like,
as
really
shit.
dark.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Okay. I fucking doubt, dude. Let me press that giant fucking X button. I'm sorry, but if you don't see no fuck... Oh, this fucking pisses me off already, brother. Oh, I'm fucking riveting. I am beyond fucking pissed. All right, let this play out. Let's see what he does. But if this bitch runs away, I'm gonna be more fucking pissed.
Man. Edgar's senses are tingling. They're being electrified by his tinfoil apparatus.
Let me tell you guys a little something about the science of getting stabbed. If you get stabbed, someone comes up to you and stabs you in the front. Guess where you're going to fall? You're not going to fall front because the energy is coming this way. You're going to fall backwards. If someone stabs you from the back, you know, you're more than likely going to fall forward. We didn't see any stab wounds in the back.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
Unless someone stabs you and like judo throws you down and like for some reason forgets to take out the knife and you're still stuck with it. You know, like it's the same thing with like a lot of like movies, you know, when someone like shoots someone and like they fall forward when like they're being shot like right here instead of taking the bullet back. They're like, oh, they fall forward. It's like, yo, the energy is going that way. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Also, if you're a science dude in any way, shape, or form, what if you hunch forwards and then they run away? Okay. You get stabbed, you like, you know, whatever, right? You're falling. Guess what? Your first priority will more than likely be to stop the bleeding, right? You're not going to stop the bleeding by like lying face down and allowing your guts to spill out. You're more than likely going to flip upwards. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
These are gonna be fucking wild ass clips, man. I can already tell. But no, it's just like off of that. Like if we're gonna continue off of that, like you'd also try and check and see if they were okay, or like flip, like, you know, try and make sure that they're like, you know, like if they're alive.
I don't think so, because I think he's seen this already before.
Well,
I mean, I look at the scene we're looking at right now. He's either hallucinating or he's having returned by not someone else's death.
But like my thing, Enteron, is like if you get stabbed, trust me, there's gonna be a lot of pain rushing towards you, but not enough to lose consciousness unless you hit your like chin, or unless it's more than enough pain. If it's one stab, you're more than likely to be like, fall down, whatever, right? Why do I say that? Because
you can just get like a little bit stabbed.
Yeah. Or if you get a little bit stabbed, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna fucking fall, dude. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Just like a little bit, like a jab, like a little stab jab.
And I mean, the perfect example of this quite literally comes with, if you want to talk about like stabbing and moving and whatnot, Subaru, first episode. What does Subaru do when like he gets like his stomach sliced open, he turns on his side and he dies that first episode. He doesn't stay face down the entire time. It's quite literally as though he reaches out for Emilia's hand, right? So yeah, when Stabby McStab comes at him, he flips on his side. Yeah, he knows what to do there.
He gets stabbed, he gets smashed, he gets dismembered multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah. But with that being said, let's go.
Let's go. Where are we? When are we?
When are we? That's a good question.
Wo ist Mikkel?
顔が真っ青だよ。
人が死んでた扱いで
He's been isekai'd into his own life.
What?
You're like, what? Well, now there's a theory.
He just got isekai'd into his own life.
Yeah.
I mean,
なんだ
Nanda.
Yeah, my man is he's out of it.
Talk about fucking.
Oh
Oh god, yeah, that's a but I thought it was another person that played the fucking sound. That's why I was like, alright guys, we get it. It's the sound, but it was in the fucking thing.
Tip of the knifeberg.
Yeah, dude. Oh, is that Dr. Pepper? Oh, it's DK Pepper.
一体これ
Yeah, it's the legally distinct
人がどうして消えた
pepper flavored beverage.
今ここにいた人たちがみんな目の前で
そう、
さあではないお前も見てただろうな
見てない。
何を言ってるんだ
He's really experiencing it himself, but no one else is.
Right?
He must be experiencing
Hey.
multiple
Hey,
timelines.
yo, wasn't that the thing that was safely placed on top? Like this fucking
When?
weird spherical object when he went up to the roof and like the chick was like doing this signal to him and then it cut weirdly again. Maybe there is some
I'm positing a new psychological theory. This is brand new theoretical ground here. That our character here is experiencing something that I'm going to coin as polytemporal psychosis.
Okay. Please explain what polytemporal psychosis is.
Polytemporal psychosis is right. Psychosis is a form of dissociation as a result of being like completely disconnected from one's own environment, one's own reality, and psychosis patients, they often experience some form of hallucination, right? In particularly the personas of other people. They will often, see that other people and think that they're a part of some sort of organization, some sort of conspiracy to contain them. A lot of psychosis patients, are held in mental institutions and they think that that's part of a conspiracy. You've seen this in movies all the time where like, oh, they're a psychosis patient, but really they are, being kept by an organization. They're just being told they're psychotic. So polytemporal psychosis is a psychotic residue, a psychotic residue as a result of experiencing multiple timelines. That's where the poly comes in. So our character here is experiencing polytemporal residue in conjunction with his typical single temporal psychosis.
Sure, but
that's my theory.
Could you, for example, if we're talking about just polytemporal psychosis in the way that you've described it so far, Could we also apply this to the ReZero that you're watching, specific to do with trauma, i.e., watching, hearing, having, you know, all the things that he's experiencing, and extreme fucking, you say horniness, I say extreme attachment, you know, anxious attachment, like on there. So
Absolutely, Edgar. I mean, you bring up a good point. I think a lot of that, traumatic residue, I'm sticking with that term, is as a result of experiencing these multiple life occurrences, some of which overlap, some of which do not, and while they don't overlap for other people, they overlap for our character. So he's not experiencing typical psychosis. He's experiencing this like just this like the simulated reaction that a psychotic patient would have. He's not delusional about experiencing these things. They really are happening. But to the outside world, to everyone else, to our perception, he is behaving in the way a psychotic patient would.
So I hope you know. I want a photo.
Terms that I'm writing down in the Brady and Edgar Psychulturists edition of the DSM 5.1 are polytemporal psychosis and polytemporal psychotic residue.
Right. But something I do want out of this is quite literally a selfie of you with this hat that you have, so we can turn it into a tier 1 fucking emoji for everyone here on chat, for both of us. Chat, you guys will have two different, do your little signature pose, right there, you know, get your little psych mind activated, and we'll throw that shit out there. I know, right? Look at that. Ooh.
Now, in keeping with the naming convention here, there's not only polytemporal psychotic residue, but also resonance. Okay, now that residue is something that is only afflicting our main character here. He's the one experiencing these divergent timelines, these disparate realities. But the resonance, that is when the residue he has is reverberating onto other people, and we will start to see, I think, these other characters take hint of the polytemporality that our main character is experiencing here. So get your notebooks out, folks, because there's going to be a whole lexicon of new terms just for this episode, and you're going to want to be up to date on those.
So Brady, bring out your little cardboard one. I'm gonna bring out my little chopstick one. We have our little wands here. That's how you know that we're upgrading our wizard powers, you know, with the way that we too many big words, Dark Thug. We'll send the 5G waves to you, brother. There you go. Receive it. Anyway, let's go, bro.
Your protective anime gear. Okay.
What the fuck is on your head, Rosie? Rosie's, what the fuck is on your head? We're protecting ourselves from the globalist, the organization.
We're protecting ourselves from our own polytemporal psychotic resonant episodes, okay?
We're bringing out our wands. We're protecting ourselves from the water, what's in the water that turns the frogs gay, and polytemporal psychosis, and residue, and resonance, and all of that. Okay. We gotta be able to protect ourselves, because so foil paper, yeah, you know, it protects from microwaves and all of that radiation. Anyway, let's keep going, brother. Oh yeah, I should probably mute this because don't want to get DMCA'd for them. Let the frogs love who they want. It's a typical Alex Jones moment, man. It's great.
When the resonance is polytemporal.
Watch this VOD when I'm home in a few hours, Rosie. When you're home, we gotta play some Destiny or something. I'm not paying attention to the opening. I'm paying attention to Brady here. I'm waiting for the opening to end because Mob Psycho spoiled me, brother.
Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to the opening, to be honest.
That's a fucking banger, though. It's a bop, dude.
It's pretty cool. It's It's pretty cool, Edgar. I have to agree. It is a very cool song.
Boomer Logic, yes, Rosie, Liberty City Night, let's fucking go. When the music is reverberating. This is the same studio that did ReZero, by the way.
Hey, I think ReZero looks really good.
Yeah.
I really like the animation style there.
All right, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
俺たちが見えているかなぜ答えない
Here we go.
モニターのそっち側にいる間抜け面の貴様だ
I'm so fucking right that the organization is real.
研究所だ所属研究員を紹介しておこうまずはラボメンナンバー001
Sounds good, Rosie.
創設者にして狂気のマッドサイエンティ
Yeah,
スト
join us and bring tinfoil so that you have the protective wear needed for this experience.
黙れ
Oh.
岡部倫太郎は世を忍ぶ仮の名だそしてラボメンナンバー002コスプレ作りが趣味のこう一点椎名真由里
I think it needs more support.
You need more support? Mayushi, aw.
ラボメンナンバー003スーパーハッカー橋田
Oh, that's a super hacker, Brady.
ハッカーだろ上皇
以上の3名だ
つか
It's not enough.
方がよくね500円ワゴン
Hi, Miku. Every time you come in, brother, we're doing something weird. Sister Rado said, I hope you're doing well. Miku, you're amazing. By the way, in case you don't know, she has been helping us a lot with finding the appropriate microphone and stuff. So everyone, throw up some Dorito chats for Miku-chan. Some Doritos for Miku-chan. Let's go. But yes, Miku. You always come in at the weirdest times. All right, you ready, Brady? Making sure that you're good.
All right. Okay. It's safe. It's safe now to continue.
All right, there you go. Perfect.
ってソフトに期待すんなって
よく聞け我がラボは中央通りを進み末広町駅の
We love you too, Miku. Guys, drop as many Doritos as you can fucking fit in the chat for Miku.
Yeah, and for all the admins and mods.
Hats off to Miku, but keep your tinfoil close.
Yeah, you don't want to get you don't want to let the organization come in and stop us.
You don't want to contract the 5G network viroid.
Man, we gotta get whenever we grow, we gotta get Hassan and the others to join us in protecting against the 5G waves, against the globalists like Alex Jones and others.
Well, they're a part of the conspiracy, man.
Are they? Or are they all part of this conspiracy now?
Yeah.
But no, I was about to say, specifically admins and mods, hey, they've been doing a fantastic job. So drop those Doritos for them. They're always watching out for all of you guys and for ourselves as well. So, Picker.
Mods with cheesy triangular goodness.
There you go.
雑居ビルにある未来ガジェット研究所の目的は世界の支配構造の変革にある
Is this how you do your self-care notes, Brady?
生み出すことだ
Yeah.
分かったなら貴様の秘密をとっとと話すがいい
ねえねえ、アルパカマンさんからはマユシーたちがゲームみたいに見えてるのかな。
そいつには現実なのかゲームなのかっていう発想さえないんじゃね
じゃあ、
Hello, Beyond.
君の好きな二次元の女の子も
He's a gamer?
あれは別あの子たちは僕の嫁だから
誰の嫁の話はどうでもいい
Waifu?
That's chat right there. Chat, tell us about your waifus and why they're not part of the globalist conspiracy.
POV, you are Brady's phone.
でもさ興味深いテーマじゃん
When I do my conspiratorial self-talks, I do it like this. I talk into it like this. Like I have a microphone.
Do you do it in public or do you do it like
I don't do it like this. That's crazy. That would be insane.
For a second, I thought Brady didn't know what a waifu are.
Oh, I know. I'm keyed into that.
Oh, my waifus are my laifu. Guys. I gotta take this off real quick. I gotta let the 5G waves hit me. Ugh. It's hurting my ear a little bit.
Chat, let it be known, chat, that there was a period of exposure on Edgar while we watched this anime. So there is a certain amount you cannot trust of what he's going to say for the rest of this experience.
All right, give me a second, man. A car's beeping outside for me. Keep the chat entertained. I'm switching it to you, brother. There you go. Be right back.
So now I'm like Time Man here, and I'm talking into my screen, and you all are the conspiratorial organization that is watching me. But I'm protected. Yeah, Edgar is contaminated. Guys, did you see him take off his protective cap? Okay? And then what? And then what happens? What happens 1 second after he takes off his cap? Oh, there's a car beeping outside. I have to leave the stream suddenly. Like, is that not fucking suspicious? Isn't that like weirdly coincidental? That like as soon as he takes off his protective gear, suddenly they're able to track him and they're blaring their horns outside of his home, calling his attention away from his suitors, you all, in the TV screen. Exactly. Guys, the person who comes back may not be Ed at all. I want you to prepare for that. Okay? You can't trust him. You may not get Ed back. Ever. Okay? You may not, like... And I will tell you this right now. Unless you see me with this on next time too, it's not me either. Okay? Because I'm never taking this fucking thing off.
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing, dude. Nothing happened.
What, you can't trust me now? You can't trust me now?
Don't. Chat, keep your fucking mouth shut.
Oh, am I hearing something? You know the magic plan all along, is it? They're on to him. What is all of this? What is all of this? The person.
Look. I just. All I said was you take off your protective headwear and then suddenly there's a car outside and you have to leave suddenly. A little suspicious, bro.
No, it was my parents that had just got him back. Okay. That's the best way I can put it. There's nothing more, nothing less. Anyway.
やれやれだる。自分の殻に困らず、人の話はきちんと聞いた方がいいぞ。今日のお前にだけは言われたくないすればここですか。それよりも報道のヘリ到着したみたい。本日12時頃、東京千代田区秋葉原に墜落した。
He just changed the television with like a pistol.
Yeah. That's cool. That is an awesome remote.
ラボからラジカンに向かった。しかし気づいた時には人工衛星が激突していた。それだけじゃない。俺が？
墜落したのをテレビで見てて、オカリンがついに機関が動き出したとか言って。
What the f?
来たんだよ。
中止？朝オカリン。あの博士直前になって逃げたとか言って怒ってたじゃん。中町博士の会見だぞ。ラジカンで12時から開かれた。だから開かれてないって。よかったじゃん。開かれてたらオカリン人工衛星の下敷きになってたかも。この記憶の齟齬。
That is weird.
There it is. Difference in memories. Memory control. He's experiencing polytemporal psychosis. Oh, he just said the name of the show.
アルパカマンさんが怒ったんだよ。チャンネルを変えたから。
They said the name of the show.
It's got a pistol remote.
Gotta admit, I would love to have one of those. Change the TV, yeah. change the anime.
It's pretty cool. Why though?
デブだからって力があると思うなよ。
いや、威張るところか。ミスターブラウン。
ああ、天のおじさんと呼べと言ってるだろ。
早急に修理を依頼したい。
ああ、もう壊したのか。
Damn.
たくブラウン管への愛が足りねえな。修理代1000円。
むしろ火があるとすれば粗悪品を渡したそ
大家
ちらに。
にそういう口を聞くのか。
修理代
Ah, landlord and fixer, dude.
こいつの相手するのやめた方がいいよ。
The dangers of multi-relationships.
人質なので
人質ね。あ、ここも行っちまってるのか。修理代2000円な。嫌なら持って帰んな。
See, that's exactly what I was talking about. First, he had the polytemporal psychosis himself, and then there's other people who remember very specific details about what he saw, but they're not reacting to it normally, and that's the resonance.
Right.
That's the
Well,
psychotic resonance.
I have a question for you, Brady, and this might be sort of an interesting change in resonance as well, or in changing. Do you feel that maybe if you jump timelines, say that you kept jumping timelines or whatever, like going to the future or the past, changing one little thing, the ripple effect, the butterfly effect that comes from that, the resonance, as you may go ahead and call that. Do you think that that may also shatter your psyche as you keep doing it? You know, and I'm not just talking about trauma. I'm quite literally talking about repression and then shattering that bottle of glass that you have over and over again and again.
I will make an attempt to answer your question with a question of my own,
Okay.
which is that how is that any different from regular fucking life?
Well, let's put it like this, right? Because at least regular. No. You're trying to make this deep, but if you're going to talk about regular life, in regular life, you accept the trauma, you accept whatever's happening for you, right? Or sometimes you don't.
We always accept the trauma.
Not necessarily always, right? But let's go ahead and point this out. If you had knowledge that you're repeating the same cycle and that all of your changes aren't affecting your original point to where you need to be, wouldn't that be more damaging than living life?
Sounds like regular life to me. Constantly repeating the same cycles, feeling that the changes I'm making aren't having any impact, bro. I
But,
think
like,
that like you're giving me a recount of the regular experience of human psychology here. No time travel needed.
What are you? Okay, first off, if you're going to talk about just singular basis, right? Because you only live one perspective in your life. But what I'm talking about is quite literally, i.e., seeing, let's say, your friends aren't alive at that moment, or all of a sudden that like they are, that one of your family members is gone, or that like that whole grieving process would completely change. It would devastate you. Because at what point do you start becoming desensitized to situations like that?
Yeah, how many times can you experience the ultimate level of grief for seeing, your close ones pass on, and then like you experience it again? Like, I mean, that's essentially what Subaru is going through as well. Like in those first couple of episodes, like he's not losing, but he's not losing his desensitization to it. In fact, it only reinforces his desire to like do everything he can to right those wrongs or to protect those people. So I don't know. I think there's evidence in what Subaru is thinking and what he's doing for that exact kind of question. I mean, you wouldn't know more than me because I've only seen a couple episodes, but it seems like that's kind of the dilemma he's facing. And maybe over time he does sort of lose, like he does react less strongly to his own death over time, I think, already, but he doesn't react any less to other people's. In fact, it only like makes him yearn for, the undoing of their deaths.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of, because I was about to say, you still have to feel everything, as Geek points out, but you are not living the same thing. And I think that's the number one thing that's being thrown out there,
Just gonna take this opportunity here to correctly type deja vu because I can.
Ooh. There you go, camera. Fix itself. There you go. But anyway, let's continue, brother. We're close.
Deja vu, it's French. It means already seen.
Wait, isn't that Dr. Pepper brand different?
Oh, yeah, it really is just Dr. Pepper.
But they had
I
DK
don't think
Pepper
it's
last
different,
time.
Yeah, it looks like DK Pepper as well.
選ばれし者の知的飲料だからな。
Intellectual drink? Bro, I have to agree. Dr. Pepper kind of owns.
It's pretty good.
What was that? We saw her in a cemetery.
セミの声すごいね。
It's
I don't take the imagery of these things as coincidence.
ミスター・ブラウンを使って妨害してきた以上、もはや猶予はない。あの計画を実行に移すぞ。
計画なんぞ
計画は計画だ。未来ガジェット8号機の実戦投入以外に何があるというのだ。
ああ、電話
Isn't wearing any shoes or socks at home. Still wearing a white lab coat.
レンジの実戦投入って何
you gotta remind yourself that you are a scientist, Brady.
3年半になる。
You want everybody to know.
別でほとんど話してないから実質2年じゃね
細かいことはいい。とにかく、それほど長い付き合いなのだ。いい
Mm.
加減、俺の会話について来られるようになってくれ。
それは
Thinker.
てか
Another
やってみる
The thinker on the
Wonderful.
toilet.
前にバナナを持て
another wonderful French icon.
もったいないよ。
ケチケチしていては機関との戦いには勝てん。
勝たなくてもいいよ。
Is this what they meant by
バ
banana?
ナナはマユシーが買ってきてるんだからね。
わかってる。
What's that?
Is this what they meant by banana? Now that I'm thinking about it.
No, that's gotta be like a payoff for a later thing.
120シャープ。
綺麗なターンテーブルだろう普段と違って逆回転してるんだぜこれ
逆回転。もしかしてそこに重大な意味があるかもしれない。
What?
両者の問題を考えて、フントの規則を導入して。
Yeah, like what the fuck is he talking about?
What the f-
ないね
Why are they microwaving bananas?
変わりないね温まるわけでもなく冷たくなるわけでもなく
Ugh.
シーのジューシー唐揚げ
Why?
が凍っちゃった
とにかくシュタインズゲートに関わる何かが起きていることは確かだ。
また
Steins Gate? Okay.
この場
Name of the episode. Name of the series again.
ではマユリにその名誉を譲ってやろ
なんかね
What is happening?
冬バナはデロデロでブニュブニュだったよ。味もないし。
う。食べたのか？
まゆしあなたのバナナブニュブニュだねって言ってみて
あなたのバナナ
Oh
ブニュ
god.
言わせるな変態が。
One of those times
Anime
where-
moment.
right?
あー溶ける
まだラボを出て
It's one of those times where I'm genuinely like confused as well because I'm like, what timeline are we watching?
メグインニャンニャンでやってくれればいいのにな
How much of this is like intentionally meta?
あー単位必須じゃなければ絶対休むのにヒュー鈴あー生き返る
Miku, Eldra's.
まだ言ってる
誰はラジカン見に行かないのか。
どうせ野じ馬多すぎで見れないし
Is this the timeline Rudy didn't drop out of high school? Oof.
My god.
おう作業一時中断またもつ
I
Bruh.
have no comment. Fuck.
そうだ、あの時。携帯を貸せ。
なんでいいからんプライバシーの侵害許さない絶対
メールを送っただろう。
え
マキセクリスが刺されたというメールだ。
おう先週来たやつ
Whoa.
3通に分けてスパムかっつーのほら
重心日時7月23日12時56分。
な
先週送信記録ない。今日は何日だ。
あに28日
There it is. Polytemporal
どうしたの
Displacement.
resonance.
過去に送られ
What about?
Yeah, displacement.
Yeah. Now we're adding an attachment word into that as well, like polytemporal
Give me a
displacement.
term
as
for
well.
it. Give me like spice it up for me. Give me a nice
zinger.
juicy.
It's gonna have a zinger to it, right? Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta have displacement in there because it's quite literally being out of time or out of place, right? So displacement's a big one. All right, so what are we talking here? Multi-dimensional displacement? Because we're not. Is he going through time or is he going through universes at this point, right? Or
Good question.
dimensions?
It's a little bit like interpersonal displacement as well.
Right. Huh. Huh. Because you're not really away from home or from the location if he does go ahead and like keep jumping timelines or whatever. But he is in a different one. Oh, that's the message was sent to the past, as you said. We got to think about this a little bit further. I'm gonna come up with the spicy word for this.
Yeah, it needs a term. It needs a
Zing.
definition. Perhaps we are traveling backwards.
What
Okay.
if it wasn't this particular one that we saw, but a different one that we saw?
A different girl, a different redhead on a
Yeah.
different day.
Yeah, it's the same person, just different version of her.
That, or no matter what happens, we are always going to end up at the point where she gets stabbed,
Right.
and we're actually moving perhaps backwards in time.
That is sick.
Information is moving forward, because if we go back in time, if we all go back 1 week and we say, well, yesterday, as in 1 week, ahead, this happened. Information is still traveling forward, right? Like, because we're able to express the causality of this happened, then this happened, then this happened, despite them going in the opposite direction. So
Right.
So it really is like a temporal pincer of information dissonance.
Got it. Interdimensional displacement.
There you go.
There we go. We're coming up with high level new psychological terms that like you guys haven't seen just yet. Interdimensional displacement, quite literally being crossing dimensions and having interpersonal dimension and then or interpersonal displacement and then interdimensional displacement at the same time. That's insane.
Information still traveling forward.
Mm-hmm.
Person traveling backwards.
Ooh, now you have me wondering. There's so much to go ahead and get to and do. And Brady. Ooh. But with that being said, hey, this brings us to the end of Steins Gate, guys. We hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned because we're going to continue that series later on.